Okay, so we are live. Just figured I'd come on and talk a little bit about some of the weather going on in Iowa right now and east of Iowa. So let's go to the map here. Okay, so this is the National Weather Service, not enhanced radar. This is basically the standard. But right down in here, this cell right here looks fairly decent. There it is right there. Right in here. See how that bubbles up here? Right there. There's a couple more to the north here, northwest. But let's go here.
We're getting updates in real time from emergency managers in Marion County.
Yeah, so we're just kind of taking in all the information here.
Yeah. Here is another video. I'm not sure where this one is. Stay safe and alert, Iowa.
Yeah, I'm not sure where or what that is. Let's go back to the radar here. Donnelly, if you're in Donnelly, if you're in Knoxville, God, Marion County today has.
I'm going to treat this as a tornado warning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they will issue one because it's already back up. But I'm going to treat it like one. So if you're in this area, right, the same area. Oh, they did issue a new one.
That's for Pocahontas.
Oh, Pocahontas until 7:30. Okay, so to finish what I was saying here, if you're in the same area that got affected earlier, between Highway 5 and Highway 14, west and north.
So I'm going to show you a map here. This is Marion County here. And this is where they're talking about right here. Right there. Oops, I don't want to do that. Stop. Why do I keep doing that? So right there. That's the cell they're looking at right there. Just west of Knoxville. And it seems like it's jumping north a little bit here.
Minutes.
We
We'll go back up to Pocahontas here.
Yeah.
Because we have a new tornado warning for the city of Pocahontas. Let's get space out from behind you, Brandon. Once Max 2 loads here.
There you go.
There's the Pleasantville.
And they did just issue a new one for
Okay.
Marion County as well.
Okay, so a lot happening here. There are now 3 different tornado warnings in Pocahontas County.
So this pink one here, Dave, is what will expire at 7.
Yeah.
This is the new one that'll go until 7:30. And I believe this one still goes until 7.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So the pink box will be allowed to expire 7, correct. The new one for the city of Pocahontas expires 7:30.
Yeah. So if you're in Pocahontas, as we've been telling you for 25, 30 minutes, you need to go ahead and get to your shelter now. You need to be in a safe place. This has had a history of producing tornadoes in southern Pocahontas County and northern Calhoun County, and you need to go ahead and be in that shelter now. Still moving at 15 miles per hour?
Maybe 20 now. Yeah, 20 miles per hour moving to the north there in Pocahontas. We will put a track on that as it tracks to the north. As it approaches the city of Pocahontas intersections of Highway 3 and Highway 4, 7:19, 23 minutes. 24 minutes, give or take, 6:55 right now. That 6:53 number, 6:53 time you see in the top right is the time of the latest radar scan. So the actual time right now is 6:55. Typically, the radar is about 90 seconds behind actual time. This tornado pretty much paralleling Highway 4 right now.
It's traveling right up the highway. I do want to let you know this warning here for Lorenz, that will expire at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
They did say that, the National Weather Service. So at 7 o'clock, we should only have one tornado warning for the county, and that'll be this one right here for this storm that's coming into Pocahontas. And then, of course, to the southeast rather, we have the new tornado warning for Marion County. And that's why I said we're going to treat it like a tornado warning.
All right, so
If you are in Pleasantville, if you're in
Okay, so this is the upper level water vapor here, and you can see this cell here, right there. Seems to be a little bit of a circulation in there. We'll go back to this here.
It's perking up a little bit in the past 5 to 10 minutes, pretty much right on top of Donnelly. These tornado reports that we have gotten fully condensed, which means the tornado was visible on the ground, water vapor basically touching the ground in a spinning fashion for less than 1 minute. So these are quick, brief, weak touchdowns. The strongest tornadoes, now strongest is kind of a relative term today, have been in northwestern Iowa near Pocahontas. 2 different confirmed tornado warnings still in effect. One in Pocahontas County here just west of Palmer, heading towards Pocahontas, the city itself. And then the other one, of course, just issued storm chasers all over this one, Brandon. We have seen pictures of dozens of cars.
The Marion County one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so many of them were in the area earlier. This was that tornado just south of Pleasantville moments ago. And this storm now, the core of it, Dave, looks to be strengthening a little bit.
Okay.
So when I am pulling up my velocity here, I notice a little bit more. The green and the red, they're a little brighter at this hour. Or at this point, rather.
Tornado on the ground, Pocahontas County law enforcement, 4 miles south of Pocahontas. So if we do the number crunching there, it's moving 20 miles per hour. It's going to be in Pocahontas in 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, so this is a balancing act, right? Because we have 2 storms of concern, 2 areas that we're watching very carefully. So if you're just now joining us, a couple minutes before 7 o'clock, you're watching live continuous coverage on WOI, KCWI, and also on WeAreIowa.com. We have 2 separate tornado warnings, both of which have a history of producing tornadoes or are currently producing tornadoes. The first one in Marion County, right near Donnelly. There could also be some hail with this, and this is in between Pleasantville and Knoxville. This
All
warning.
right, let's so this they're talking about Pocahontas here, so let's go here. And there's a tornado warning right in here. They won't last long, I don't think, according to the water vapor here. So just northwest, a little northwest of Des Moines, Iowa. Is where the action is for this one here.
Is set to go until 7:30. Then, Dave, we can go up to the Pocahontas County one. We also have this warning right here. So I know there are 3 that are popping up. It's this middle one that will go until 7:30. The other 2 are going to drop off. This is producing a tornado right now. 4 miles, was it southwest of Pocahontas?
Yep.
And there was a tornado on the ground, according to Pocahontas law enforcement. So the police departments and sheriff's offices there, and this is moving into Pocahontas. So again, if you're in Pocahontas, right to the west, especially the west side of town, the south side of town, please, please be in your shelter now. Remember, shelter is going to be the lowest floor of your home, of your building. You want to be away from windows and doors, and put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible.
Tough to see with velocity, but all we really need to know with this is that there is a tornado on the ground confirmed by Pocahontas County law enforcement. That was at 6:53, so about 5 minutes ago. Pocahontas County law enforcement, assuming a sheriff, confirms tornado on the ground moving to the north. Of course, it's moving towards the city of Pocahontas itself. Hopefully, I think it's going to move just to the west of the city of Pocahontas. We'll keep an eye on it as it continues pushing to the north. 15 miles per hour is the movement. 4 miles south, that puts it in Pocahontas in about 15 minutes, 7:15.
Where it just was. Let me stop that for a second. So this is kind of where it is on the western side of the town here, moving due north. Strange how things happen here, but it's riding on it seems like a little bit of a mixture of two fronts here. But if you're in this area here west of the city, I'd probably get to a basement or something. Let's see here. Let's go back.
There, almost none up to the northwest. But this area, watch how it pops up again.
See that?
That all has to do with how tall the storm is growing. Very interesting to watch this evolution today.
Yeah, this will be a day worth studying just because they have been evolving, and some of the areas where we expected that there might be development never really got going. And it's always been Marion County. And this one also, again, could be producing some hail as the center of that has really pulsed up and strengthened. So that would be very close to Lake Red Rock. And I said this earlier. Brad, who was here earlier, said this. If you know people who are camping at Lake Red Rock, please give them a call. They may not have TV. They may not have internet access right now. And if anybody was near the lake or is camping at one of the campgrounds, we want them to be in a safe, sturdy structure until this passes their area.
Yep, 2 different confirmed tornado warnings. Luckily, Knoxville is in the clear. That Knoxville, the city itself, not in the polygon of that warning. Pleasantville.
I'm going to go back to the water vapor here. So right in here. Right there. Yeah, it's very, the atmosphere is a little bit undisturbed here. Let's say the higher cloud tops are the problem.
The eastern part of the city in the polygon, under the gun for the tornado threat. But I would say the campers at Lake Red Rock are probably the number one folks that are in the path. Donnelly, the worst has gone over you right now. The rain might very well be ending there in the city of Donnelly. Multiple storm chasers, brief touchdowns and open fields. Of course, that's with this cell as of about 5 to 10 minutes ago.
Never know.
So many of that today, Brandon.
It's going to make it really tough because, somebody asked me earlier how many tornadoes have touched down so far today. I don't know.
We're never going to know.
And I don't know that we ever will know because they're so fast. Yeah. And if they don't produce damage, there really won't be any storm surveys, which we don't want damage. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it feels like we've maybe had 4 or 5 confirmed tornadoes at this point, but we might have had 15. Just
how many vortices within those tornadoes?
I don't even know if the storm chasers and storm spotters will know that for sure.
Yeah. Back north to Pocahontas as this storm is approaching the city. The reflectivities, the colors, not quite as dark of reds, I don't think, as it's getting close to the city of Pocahontas itself. Again, velocity is not going to be our friend this far from where the radar site is. The radar is in Johnston. We're looking at 6,000 feet into the storm. All we really need to know is that magenta-looking box there. That is a confirmed tornado warning by Pocahontas County law enforcement about 10 minutes ago, give or take, moving to the north at 15 miles per hour, entering the city of Pocahontas in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Take shelter. Lowest level of your home, your basement, if you have it, a storm shelter. If you don't have a basement, most interior room away from windows is the number one piece of advice we can give you. Don't want things blowing in through the windows. We don't have impact glass, hurricane-proof glass, anything like that, to prevent projectiles from being launched into windows. Back to Marion County, where this tornado warning also continues to be in effect until 7:30, so until the bottom of the hour here.
Yeah. And then there's another cell below it to the south of it.
Yep.
Not saying it will produce, but however, I'm not saying it won't either. So yeah, somebody just commented on one of my posts about this tornado warning in Marion County and said, again, and I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Yeah.
That's our exact thinking, really.
Sorry, if you're in Pleasantville or Knoxville or Otley, we're here to keep you safe. That's what we do. And we will stay here as long as we need to. I just hate that it's going over the same areas for you repeatedly. This is the current look at the velocity. Now, keep in mind, we don't want to let our guard down. The scan has adjusted a little bit again. Starts to go down. We're seeing a lot of that inbound right now.
Yeah, it's a big change between that scan and that scan.
Yeah. And it also could just be a faulty scan, which we see sometimes too.
Well, this is the storm relative velocity. I think what the Weather Service did is change the motion vector of the storms that might have impacted the equation to spit out this product here. In any event, highest area of rotation is between Donnelly and Pleasantville. Just had a report from the ham radio operator. Still some good rotation with this assuming this storm.
That's why I do the water vapor.
That's the same one.
Nothing on the ground. Tornado earlier, there's a video with that storm west of Knoxville.
Expecting that maybe those would
in the comments here. Oops.
develop more because we have this outflow boundary still draped across Madison County, Guthrie County, Adair County, and nothing was really able to get going there. And this
kinda-
happened last Sunday too. It sort of
Yeah.
acts like almost like Dave, you said, a force field.
Yeah, it's the Metro. Just this whole severe weather season
And I also
has
put
gotten
in
pretty
the,
fortunate, which obviously not a bad thing for those in the
Let's keep it that
Metro.
way, right?
Yeah,
And we did get a lot of rain today. We had 1.25 inches at the airport in
Yep.
less than
No,
an
it's,
hour. Is that right?
and that
Well,
rain, that rain put up that force field that prohibited storms from firing up near the Metro later on by 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Mainly,
We'll go to
the
about
number one
8:30.
reason behind that is because of how weak of a system, a low pressure system, this thing really is. Pocahontas County, weak rotation on radar, just hard to discern. It looks like it's falling apart, Brandon. I'm going to be honest.
I hope so.
The size does not look quite as,
Yeah, it's
Threatening.
shrinking a little bit.
yeah.
And there also was just an update from the Weather Service that there has been a little bit of flooding reported
Lauren.
there in Lorenz,
Oh, I'm sure.
or 3 miles south of Lorenz. A blacktop is underwater, and this spotter could not
Somebody's
get
producing
through.
heavy
Let's
rains.
see if we can put a rain total
can
on
see
that.
it.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
kind
there's
of
quite a bit
bullseye
right there where you see those oranges and yellows.
it
and
shows
you
up in the
bury
water
those,
vapor, it shows
almost
in our sweat.
2.5 inches estimated by our radar.
Yeah.
I'll
South
tell
of
you what,
Lorenz.
today is the definition too of when we say scattered storms. So many people mistake us saying scattered storms for not knowing. No, they literally are scattered.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, there are areas today that have had no rainfall at all.
Yep.
And then there are areas that have had 3+ inches of rain. And that's really tough.
There you go.
They, tornado on the ground, Pleasantville.
Look at all those people, those chasers.
There
Yeah,
it is.
this is something
Standing.
you would this reminds me of times back in Florida. Like, this is not prototypical Midwest setup, structure of
Sure.
cells, structure of tornadoes,
that
low hanging
beauty.
clouds because of how muggy the air is out there today.
Good shot there.
Just an interesting day.
We said it's sort of like a tropical
See, this
system.
is what you don't
Yeah.
want to see.
Not the same, but it's got similar features to maybe a tropical storm or a hurricane, which everybody always thinks about what happens in the water and on the shore. But those can often produce tornado warnings when they come on shore, sometimes for multiple states. You know, we see them all the way into the northern part of the country with tornado warnings sometimes. And this has been a similar system. The area of low pressure was incredibly strong over the last several days. It has literally fallen apart, and there's very little upper level support. And we've got these 2 tornado warnings. And frankly, these cells are barely hanging on. There's a little bit of something there.
Yeah, you mean down by Coloma, maybe?
Yep, not much, but I'm just saying, if you live along Highway 5,
I just saw Willard Sharp tweet the storm south of the tornado warned storm. That means the Coloma one.
yeah,
Is quote spinning like a top. So
good, great. If you are in
Interesting.
Pleasantville, if you are in Donnelly, if you're in Knoxville, we feel you. Please stay in your safe place right now. This other cell could produce a brief tornado as well.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of inflow here. To my knowledge, there's not another one developing south of that.
I'm just looking
Did I
at
say that preemptively?
No. I'm just looking on Radar Scope, one of our radar apps. You can see all the spotters out there, and it's like they're building their little community in between Melcher, Dallas, Knoxville, and Pleasantville. They want to go out and see storms, and sure, they're hopefully not putting anyone else in harm's way. Tornado warning continues until the bottom of the hour for northern Marion County. This storm has kind of fallen apart. The southern one might be trying to take over. We'll watch and see what happens there. Elsewhere across central Iowa, some storms have tried to fire. They're in Madison County, moving into Waukee, failing to do so. Another shower moving into northeastern Story
Right,
County.
let's pause this, and then I'll go here to the geocolor. So you can see this broad area here, circulation, dry air here, dry air here. right in here. See that? And then there's another one up in here. There's convergence of two air masses here. But this will likely fizzle out as the day turns into night here and the cooler temperatures. So,
tornado probably just to the west of Pocahontas. Again, we're looking 6,000 feet into the storm with the storm. I don't know if it's a storm brand. Let's check the lightning product.
Shower. There's a couple of strikes up there,
The tornado shower.
but it's kind of hardly a storm. And this is one of the tougher areas that we cover in terms of radar coverage because the Des Moines radar site is really far. The next closest one is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And then there's the other radar site, which is in Chanhassen, Minnesota. So way up in the Twin Cities. Those are the only ones that can scan this storm. Chanhassen is too far. And then Des Moines and Sioux Falls can scan it decently. But
yeah, they need to put a
tough
radar
see.
like right here.
I've always said, like Mason City would be very helpful to have a radar site.
La Crosse has a radar site too, but that doesn't help us that far west.
So until 7:30, we'll be with you unless we need to go longer. I hope we don't, but we'll see. This is the other cell that has developed south of this initial one. So this is where the tornado warning is still in effect in Marion County until 7:30, and it's moving towards Highway 14. But then there's this other shower, if you will, maybe a thunder shower to the south of that. And this one is exhibiting some small signs of rotation as well. This is basically the exact same area. It's like a parade of these cells and of brief tornadoes. I mean, how many have we had in Marion County alone today?
so if you're in that area, you know, I'd probably at least be on the lookout, or most people in here don't probably have power.
And this will cross over Highway 5, Pleasantville, Donnelly, Knoxville. It's going to go right through the exact same area. And it's north of Melcher, Dallas right now. Not saying it will produce a tornado, but I would not be entirely surprised if it did.
Cell going up
I
pretty
like when they're
quickly
marked like that because that's where you
near
can see
Milo, between Milo and Indianola.
the bend.
I was seeing that one, yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. That's kind of an untapped area of the atmosphere, but I'm not too concerned about it right now.
No, also, if you're in Mitchellville, you're getting a little bit of rain, and
Yep.
Ziering is going to get a little bit of rain. So finally, some other little showers have popped up in the kind of the midsection, the middle of this.
I'm a little surprised this tornado warning is still in effect. I mean, there's a little bit of rotation there.
Sure.
There's my mouse. There's the mouse. There's the mouse. Yeah. A little bit of rotation east of Pleasantville. That is going basically. I mean, that's about as low on the shear scale as you can get. That's approaching Lake Red Rock right now, west of Highway 14, east of Pleasantville. Not a whole lot of folks impacted there. No recent updates on the Pocahontas County storm. This
Yeah.
is looking more ragged than what it was.
Yeah, you mentioned it was just kind of shrinking a little bit. And if you're just tuning in, maybe
they're
you're
moving
just
pretty
flipping on
quick.
the TV, getting us on weareiowa.com, on the app, on Facebook. It's 7:15 now on Saturday night. We have two tornado warnings in effect. Both are set to expire at 7:30. One
Right,
that is
so
in
that's pretty
Pocahontas
good for me. I
County
just wanted
in the
to know if
northwest
you
part of our
wanted to
area, and then
update
one
on
that is in
things,
effect
yeah.
again for Marion County. And this cell to the south that we've been tracking is now stronger than that one.
Yeah, not a whole lot of rotation on it.
No.
So there you go. All right, everybody have a good night.